And hi everybody, this is me, the Angelus Colon, and I'm here at about 3:30 in the morning on Sunday, and happy Independence Day. And I just couldn't sleep, so I thought I'd just get on and see who's out there and offer some live readings in the middle of the night. For those of you who know me, I do readings occasionally on my weekly program, Metaphysical Communion, usually on Friday evenings. It's been a while, I've been on hiatus, but I'm starting the program up again. And I had my first new program actually last night or Friday evening for my season premiere. So if anybody's out there who might be interested in a free reading, come and join me and let me know that you're around, and I'll provide some readings for you, okay? So let's see if anybody's out there. If you are, please, use the chat room and say hi and introduce yourselves and ask a question. And I'll be providing you a reading in the middle of the night. I've never done this before. It's a whole new experience. So I'm just curious to see how this will go. See if anybody's out there, first of all, if it'll even work. So it's just an experiment. So I thought I'd have a little fun. It's a long weekend, and I thought I'd just do something different for a change and shake things up a bit. So if anyone's out there, you can please let me know. And here we go. Person, and let's see. Any moment. And there you are. And good morning, Michelle. Good to see you here in the middle of the night. Let me know if you can make a comment or so, because I know that you're watching, as I see here. Let's see. So if you have a question, you can always type it in. And I do believe that should be appearing on the screen. It's the first time I'm using, this, so I'm looking to see how this works. So far I know that you're watching. I don't know if, hello, there you are, good. So I hope you can, hear me. So let me know if you can. Again, I'm using this for the first time, and I'm using my cell phone. So this is a whole new experience for me. And if anybody else is out there, you're welcome to join us. And let's see, what we get. So the energies have been really interesting in the last few days. Lots of change. Good. Thank you, Michelle. Good to know that. Lots of changes in the air. And we see that happening in the last month or so. We have some new elements working in the atmosphere. We just had a very strong full moon that passed about a week ago. So that brought in a lot of interesting energy. I understand for the month of July, things are going to be a little bit more interesting. Last month was pretty good. We had a lot of good aspects, and the month went favorably for the most part. This month, things change a little bit from what I understand. So the first half of the month is expected to be easy and well. Coming into the third week or so is when we may expect a little bit of, let's say, chaotic energy coming into being. So we'll wait and see how that goes, and hopefully we can handle it really, really well. So, Michelle, if you have a question out there, let me know. And hello, Ray, Louise. Thank you for joining us. Um, is this your first time ever seeing me? Because I don't recognize your name. So, the format for this occasion is just ask a question, and I will provide you a reading. Let's pick up with the energies and see what the spirits have to say for you. at this time. So if anyone has a question, please type it in. And in the meantime, it's a pretty fair night. I think most of the rain is over right now, so that's a good thing. And um, tomorrow should be much better in the weather. I understand it's going to be sunny. It should be in the 80s. And it should be very, very comfortable, very different than what we experienced in the last day and a half. Okay, and we have a question. Okay, Ray, you have been in my live broadcast before. Very good, thank you. I have a number of people that participate, so I don't always recognize everybody, that comes on the show. But it's good to see you here. And yes, first question. All right, Ray Louise, let's see. In regard to your question, let's see what the energies and the spirits have to say for you at this time. Well, right now, I'm not getting a very strong sense there's going to be any major, major change, for you. So actually, that's a good thing. We'd rather have things stay steady than have them become negative or problematic. So immediately, what I'm getting a sense of, I know that you're expecting some change to happen. A lot of things that you would like, different in your life. Right now, at this very time period, I don't see much of a change coming your way, at least not for the next few days or so, even for the next week. Um, Later on, let's say give it another month or so before you start seeing things happening and things getting different for you. It's a gradual process for you. So it's not going to happen all at once. It'll be one or two things that'll start to reveal themselves to you in a different way. I get a sense immediately that there's going to be a change in environment in regards to employment, first of all. So get ready for that. I don't know if you're working right now or not, but I do get the opportunities are coming, for something new and different, in regards to employment opportunities. That'll introduce you to new, people because of that. A different environment, different place. It's about change in environment for you. So it's employment. It's also going to different places that you've never been to before. I see you connecting with different people, new experiences that people that you've never known before. So that is gradually coming, but it's going to be a nice slow process. It's not going to be something that's going to be very melodramatic. It's not going to be like a big drama that comes in all of a sudden. So it'll happen very tranquilly, very peacefully, but it will be very positive from what I see. And it will take time, for that to develop. So that's something for you to look forward to, okay? I hope that answers your question. Michelle, there you go. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, Michelle, that's in the environment, right now. There's been a lot of preoccupation with those that have passed on fairly recently. So I've noticed that in the last 2 months or so, um, there's been a lot of emphasis on death and passing over. There's been a number of people that have passed over. This usually happens in the spring, first of all, so this is nothing unusual, at least not to me. Uh, but lately, there seems to be an emphasis on those that are passing on. And for instance, we see what happened recently in the last week or so in Florida with the building collapse. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of passing away. From there, that was completely unexpected. And it seems to be in the energy of change right now, where there's a preoccupation with those that are passing. They seem to be very close to us right now. I have felt a lot of that too, myself lately. Even though I haven't been on my show, as you know, because I've been, off for a bit, but I have been, getting a sense of that as well. People passing away, also preoccupation with thinking of them. So there's a closeness, there's a concern because the world right now is in a state of chaos. And when that happens, people tend to be frightened and nervous. So when that occurs, those who are in the other side are aware of that, and it draws them closer to us because our emotional energy is raised higher, first of all. So they see the worry, they see the concern, they see the discomfort that's in the environment. So that tends to draw them to us. So we start to think about those who have passed on from before, especially when we're lonely, especially if we have problems or difficulties. We wish for those who had been with us before. We wished for them to be here with us so we could, connect with them, so we could talk to them, so we could be comforted by them, and vice versa. So this is what's been happening a lot lately. Going back to the full moon of last week, which was in Capricorn, there was a bit of emotion there, with this moon in particular, even though it fell in an earth sign. But there were other elements and other aspects there that were bringing a lot of emotion. We had a strong Venus, first of all, influence. And we have Venus and Mars being very strong this month in particular. That has a lot to do with emotions and relationships. So it tends to pull and draw us into that, preoccupation, for emotional things, for being nervous, for feeling extra emotional, extra different. So that has a lot to do with that too. So don't worry, you're not the only one who's experiencing this type of thing, going on at this time. Anxieties, yes, it's been in the energy also as well. There's been a lot of discomfort. Also for people, we may have all been feeling a bit out of sorts in a way, not feeling like we usually should, feeling a bit out of control, also. And it's just the nature of the world right now that it's uncertain. And we're going through a big shifting because, in a way, things are coming back to normal slowly. But at the same time, there are worries and concerns because we don't know the state of things in the world right now. They're unsteady. A lot of people are very angry. They're lashing it out and they're acting out. So there's a lot of readjustment going on, and that's very uncomfortable for a lot of people. We're gradually starting to come back to normal, but we've had basically a year, almost a year and a half, of being in a state of isolation. So it isn't that we're just going to ease right back into more of a normal way of existence. We've been through a lot. So we're reacting to that. We're sensing a little bit more freedom, but it's also filled with anxiety, uncertainty as well. We're readjusting, recalibrating. A lot of times that brings a lot of discomfort, for us. So be aware of that too. And you're very welcome, Ray. You're very welcome. Yes, they have been very intense in the last month, because there's been a lot of emotional pull, to it. And a lot of things have been a little bit confusing, so our minds have felt a little muddled. Remember, we've just recently come from a Mercury retrograde. So we had 3 weeks of a Mercury retrograde, happening with two very powerful moons in between. So that caused a lot of emotional concern, a lot of stress, a lot of nervousness, a lot of worry, a lot of depression for a lot of people also. So we're now getting back into that gradually. We just started in July. So there's a whole new energy set that's coming in. So give it another few days and we will start to be settling into this month's energies. This is a 7 month. So it's a month of the mystical, of the spiritual, also of the analytical, as well. We're in the summer right now and our bodies are still adjusting, to the changes in the atmosphere and weather. Also, we had a lot of heat, and now it's gone 30 degrees lower. And now later this week, we're going to get more heat once again. So we should be experiencing our third heat wave already very early on in the season. So that causes a lot of discomfort and dissonance in our energetic vibrations. And it certainly will, for us as well. That is for certain. I'm looking here at our listing. And Michelle, let me know if anything that I provided to you made sense to you at all. And Oh, I see. Okay, so you're on the other side of the planet, obviously. So, of course, it's winter, right now, in the southern hemisphere. So, again, that's another shift as well. Here in the northern hemisphere, of course, summer has begun. So that's been a big change. And again, so obviously it's been very cold at the start of the winter season, in the southern, portion of the world. So global warming has a lot to do with that. And as we've seen in the past few weeks, the changes in the temperatures, at least here in the northern hemisphere, have been very dramatic and very powerful and very early in the season. We're not accustomed to that. It hasn't given our physical selves an opportunity to adapt, to these changes. It's too rapid. It causes a lot of concern and tensions, in our psyche. Yes, I had a feeling you would be in Australia, so I know. And I have a few friends who are in Australia, so I keep aware, of things there, a great deal. So I am fully aware that Australia can get quite cold, during the winter. Maybe not as cold as up here, but enough where, again, if it happens too soon, it takes a toll on us. We have to adjust, we have to adapt, and it affects, our spirit and our minds as well as our bodies. So we have to be aware of that, too. Just take it easy, breathe. You know, you know what's going on. You know that there's global warming, the planet is reacting, and we are sensitive. We are part of the world after all. So we have to make adjustments. Knowledge is everything with this. Once we know what's going on, it helps us. And one thing trickles to another. So that will be very helpful. It will keep us nice and strong. Uh, well, in a way it can, but this is more of a thing that has to do with nature, and the world itself. And right now with the situation with global warming, that's something that's very earth-based, obviously. Does it affect us energetically? It certainly does. Let's say it enhances what is out there already in the spiritual realm of things, in the astrological things, in the vibrations of things. But it all can work together. But at the same time, global warming is its own separate energies that we have to be aware of. And it's just another layer that we have to deal with, also at this time. So it's about taking it easy and just going with the flow of things. And I have Michelle back with me here. And yes, I understand, Michelle. Well, again, it's the energies that we're going through right now. It's also what we're talking about, the planet, also the weather changes have a lot to do with that, too. It affects our bodies, also. And if we have sensitivities in that nature, or so we have things such as anxiety, depression, things of the emotions, we're going to feel it more and pick up on that more as well. So it makes it extra uncomfortable, for us. So it's about knowledge. As I just said, knowledge is everything. Knowing what's happening, knowing what the energies are like, knowing what's happening in the world, we just have to work, with it and try to be try to use our logical self to see what's happening and take that, and that will help us. That will help to calm our anxieties, calm our depressive state, hopefully lift us up. It isn't just all you, and it isn't just you. It's just the nature of what's going on right now. So having that will make it better for you. You'll be able to handle things much more. You don't have to take such a burden on yourself because it's not entirely you. It's also what's happening externally as well as internally. Yes, yes. Exactly. And we do have some astrological shifts, and we had some major ones, happening at this time. We have Saturn, working, with Uranus and Mars, also are square. So we have some strong planetary energies that are supposedly supposed to be kind of helpful, but can cause, a lot of confusion. also. And we have to be aware of those things. We also have something going on right now as well with the Orion system and the Orion vortex, which actually started on July the 3rd. So right now I think you're in July 4th in Australia. So you're right in it at this point. We're just getting started with that. So this major Orion vortex is supposed to be an opening, for new energies and for new things. Also, it's supposed to be quite major and quite strong. So if we're feeling extra emotional, extra burdened, um, if we're feeling like even kind of drained in some way, it has a lot to do with that. There's a lot of astrological energies that are taking place at this time that are very powerful. So again, it's just to be recognizing what they are and knowing that we can handle the situation, knowing what it's about, not getting carried away or drained, by it, and going with it, and knowing what they are, knowing what they do for us, and working with those energies as opposed to being worried about them or opposed, to what they bring. Because not everything that happens is always going to be on a strong positive. Sometimes it can be quite negative, and it just feels that way because it brings up a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings of the past, for instance. It makes us extra overly emotional, so things affect us more. So its thing is to know that these energies are working at this time, know what they're doing. They're making us examine ourselves and see what needs to be changed, what needs to be worked out, what needs to be fixed even. And once we do that, and once we take responsibility with that and not run away from our concerns and our problems, but look at them, focus, deal with them, but be kind to ourselves also and deal with them in a way that is not going to be draining or overly taxing, this will work out for the better for all of us. We'll be much stronger and much clearer once this starts to work out. So we see that happening there. So far, we're here at this point. I'm just looking at the time. Okay. And so I hope that helps to address some of your concerns and some of your questions and see if it makes sense, to you. All right. So let's see. Hopefully maybe I'll get a few more viewers, joining us once they see that I'm on. Perhaps some people that have never seen me before, they might be curious as what's going on here. So again, if you have any other questions, I'm here to provide readings, for you. So you can certainly ask away since we have a small group, obviously, this evening. Good. I'm glad that it does make sense for you. It's a lot of information, I know, but there's a lot that's happening right now, for us. So it's about just knowing to deal with it. And later on in the month, there's going to be more energies that are coming. Might be a little bit more challenging also. This is preparing us, for that. So by the time the third half of the month comes along into the last portion of the month, we'll be in a better place where we can handle these things and deal with these situations. It'll make us stronger. Uh, yes, I guess so. I don't know, because again, this is my first time doing this type of thing, so late in the evening here, in New York, where I am, in the United States. So right now it's about almost 4 o'clock in the morning here. So again, I'm not used to this, so this is very interesting. And seeing, who's out there, at this time is, a new experience. And let's see. All right. So I see your question, Ray. So right now, what I'm getting a strong sense of for you is of great sensitivity. So you're naturally a very sensitive and attuned person. So that immediately tells me that there's empathic abilities for you. So right away, I get a sense that you can pick up on other people's energy, very quickly and very sensitively. So that is a big, strong gift in itself. Um, it's about learning how to hone that particular gift, because when one is very, very sensitive, we can be carried away, by our energies, and we can be very taken by others because of that, very affected by others. So it's about learning how to really protect yourself and know how to utilize your empathic energies in a way that'll be constructive, for you, not being taken by other people's energies, but at the same time being helpful, to them as well. So it's about knowing how to shield yourself appropriately without dampening, your sensitivities, towards others, and your feelings, about others as well. I also get a feeling that with you, there's going to be a lot more to do with literature. That means studying and reading and studying up on more about what you feel that your spiritual gifts and abilities are. So I do get a strong sense of empathy, number one, with you. I also get a feeling of writing a great deal, also. So put your thoughts and your sensitivities into writing. So there's something that is called um, automatic writing. That is something that I feel that you might have an ability or a talent for. It's just whatever comes through spiritually is what you write down. There are lots of people that work with automatic writing. A lot of times it's associated more with spirit communication and also providing, connections with mediumship. But it can also be utilized, just for psychics and psychic development, for psychic readings. It helps you get more attuned and more connected also. And you can also do writings as well. Very good. So I am picking up, very well for you. So obviously you have been working in this medium already. Very good. I feel that the empathy and the automatic writing are where your talents, are at this time. And it will help you develop your sensitivities more and your psychic senses even more. You'll make stronger connections that way, not only for yourself, but for others, too. Let's see. Oh, I see. So symbols, that's very good. That's part of automatic writing as well. A lot of psychics, when they work, a lot of them have a pad and a pen and they start writing as they're starting to do readings for their clients. And impressions come through and they sometimes they write it, symbols, pictures. So they start drawing as they're providing a reading, as they're starting to pick up, for their clients. And then that helps them get tuned in psychically, for their clients. And it's a very good way of doing readings and becoming more of a psychic reader, as well. So that's a wonderful gift to have. I've used it in the past as well, too. And I have found it to be very helpful because it's more tactile and it gives you more of a stronger connection that you can see, and you can provide that to your readings. And I will tell you that a lot of people immediately recognize what you're telling them just by your writings, just by what you're drawing. And it's a good strong way to connect with others when you're doing and providing readings. Yes, channeling also is another good way of connecting. There you have to be a little bit more careful, however, because that requires a person to become more open. And a lot of times, you get too open, you have to be careful. You have to know how to protect yourself because you don't want to get, harmed, by spirit. I don't mean that's going to be really, really harmful, but we don't want negative energies coming in our way. So you have to be aware, of that. About when you're talking about channeling, you have to do a lot of protections. And there, you have to be a little more careful. I suggest if you're starting to explore your talents, your abilities, the best thing to do is to just stay with things that are a little bit more like your empathic self, your sensitivities, going with your intuition, using your automatic writing it to help you out. Things like channeling, whatever, starts to draw a little bit more stronger in the field and the realm of spirit. And if we're new or we're not certain of what we're doing, we don't want to tap into something that's a little bit too, going a little bit too ahead of yourself. That could cause a problem later on. So be aware of that. Be very aware. Yes, well, just keep practicing. Just keep practicing. Develop a discipline to do this regularly. And the more you do, the easier it gets. And the more that you do this, the more the symbols start making sense to you. You'll start to learn how to interpret things better. Go with your intuition for everything. That's the most important thing. Your intuition, as I've always said, is your greatest ally. It will help to clarify things. You'll become more discerning and more accurate. But you must practice constantly in order to become really more refined and more confident in your abilities. Yes, I think that's the best thing for the time being until you become stronger with it and more confident. And then once you do and you develop your psychic muscle more, then you can go further, with that. And we have a new person here, Queen. Hello, Queen. How are you? All right, Queenish. Let's see. As I see with you, I see a very strong energy immediately with you. So I'm picking up a very vibrant, spirit. You're a very, very vivacious type of energy. You're a very strong energy. You're very alive. A lot of positivity, comes through. Very refreshing, very dynamic. So immediately that comes through like a breath of fresh air, I'm sure. And you have a lot of ability, but you're wondering what you're going to do. You're not certain about where you should apply your energies, toward. You have a lot of strength. You've made a few very good connections. Obviously, it's not the first time that you've been dabbling in this, obviously. But you need to decide where you want to go with your connections. How exactly do you want to work? Because you're very curious. So you want to go into this, you want to go into that, you want to try this. That's very good. Curiosity is excellent. It's good to try things, but in order to become more refined and stronger with your gifts, you have to start focusing on one particular area that is the strongest for you, that you feel that you're drawn to the most. And then start focusing on that and then start building upon it and taking the time to develop and to learn through use, but to learn also through education, through teaching, through books if necessary, to, just learning more about that particular discipline and then just focus on that and then start honing your craft and develop and open up and become stronger, and that will help you greatly. So for you, it's you have to focus, you have to make a decision on which particular discipline you feel you have the strongest connection for and build, on that. And let's see. Thank you so much. And let's see. And I got my friend Tony, watching here. Well, hello, Tony. It's good to see you here. It's been such a while. I'm sure you're shocked to see me here at this hour, talking live, on Facebook. As you know, it's about a little bit after 4 in the morning here, in New York. And I know you used to be in New York, so you know. And I know it's like, what, 7 hours difference where you're at? So it's not so late as here. But it's good to see you here that you're watching. And so, Queenish, I have a feeling actually for you, you should go more into the realm, learning more about psychic attunement. For you, I feel your energy is strong enough where you can really start to learn more about, the psychic portion of things and learning more about what it is like to do readings, to do focus more on clairvoyance, for instance, clairsentience, and learn more about that. For you, I feel that this is where your particular interests and perhaps your particular strengths may lie, but you have to start tentatively and really learn what this is about, study. If there are mentors that you have around, take classes, which is the best thing to do for this type of psychic development, from someone who's responsible and experienced, and they can help you and mentor you and teach you the right way of how to work, in regards to psychic abilities, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and build, upon that. So I hope that's helpful for you. And healing is wonderful, as I see your comment here. And absolutely, you can incorporate that. Psychic abilities are all about healing. It's all about bringing comfort, for others. If you're healing with if you're drawn to other healing modalities, please look into that. Delve into that. See which ones work best for you. And we have Saira Singh. Hello, Saira. Welcome. Good to see you here also. Uh, Very good. You have enough energy and strength to really, go into that area, Queenish, into the psychic realm. But healing, again, if you are drawn to that, please, develop into that. There are many different forms of healing. So you have to see which is the one that you're drawn to the most. And then again, tap into that and learn and become more experienced. Mentorship is important for you also. And let's see, for Saira, let's see if you have a question. Yes, Saira, about future marriage. Well, let's see. For you, in regards to future marriage, the first thing that comes to me immediately is yes, there is, that opportunity for you for future and to have, a significant other in your life. Don't be worried. You're still, young enough to be able to make that connection. I do see that happening for you, by the way. And it will be with someone that you'll be very compatible with, obviously. Very important. You don't want to rush into marriage where it's going to be with someone that you feel that I'm getting married because I just need to get married and I'm not really feeling such a strong connection for this person. For you, it's about making a strong connection and being of like mind and having mutual interests and mutual personality, which is very, very important. You have to connect with someone and meet someone who is very much very similar to you in the way you think, in personality, in compassion, sensitivity, because I have a very strong sense that you are a very compassionate and very sensitive person and very kind, to others and very considerate of others. So you need to find a partner that has those same traits and qualities. Very, very significant for you, I feel, because I see it immediately. And if you don't find someone who's very, very much like you and very compatible, then that's when problems are going to be developing. And we want to avoid that. So it's about making the right decision, the right choice, finding someone who is very, very compatible, for you, who's be like your best friend. That is the type of person, type of characteristics you need to find in a significant other. So that is very important. You need to look for that. So you must be focused, on looking for that type of person. It's not about being desperate to meet someone. It's about connecting and being very discerning and meeting the right one. And I do feel that that will happen for you. So be patient and give it some time. Don't be in a rush, because eventually I do believe that you will come together and that connection will be coming through for you. And let's see. Um, Asida, in regards to when you'll be getting married, I don't feel that it's going to be very, very soon. So give it, I feel, I think you'll be connecting with someone within the year. So that's the first thing. That's the most important thing, meeting the person first. So give that a few months. I feel that by, let's say, the fourth quarter of this year, you should be finally meeting someone who shares these qualities and these traits that I'm talking about. And then it's going to be a while for you to get to know each other and to develop a relationship. Don't be in a rush. So I will give it a good 2 years or so, or more, a little bit more, 2.5 years before something like marriage starts, coming through, for you. Okay, that possibility, starts to really make its appearance known, for you. You're very welcome, Queenish. I'm glad that you found, the words and the readings that I provided you are helpful, for you. And that's what this is all about. Take time. You just have to take time. Go easy, and you'll see how things start to fall into place for you. Just scrolling along. You're very welcome, Saida. I'm very glad that I was able to be of assistance for you. And thank you for joining, in. You're very welcome, Saida. I'm very glad that you found that I was helpful to you and the spirit was, being very helpful for you as well. And let's see. So we have a bit of an audience developing, which is good. I'm glad to see that. And let's see. And we have Naina Mahi. And hello, Naina, how are you? Thank you for joining us. And this wonderful, evening here, at least here in New York City where I'm coming from. Here early, early in the morning, at 4:13 in the morning, actually. So welcome. And you have a question? Let's see. I'm fine, and I'm very fine. Thank you. And thank you. Yes, it's Independence Day, 4th of July. Thank you so much for that. We're going to have a very big celebration here this year because things are getting better with, the pandemic. So especially here in New York City, a lot of things are improving. So people are very happy about that. They expect to have a lot of parties and things here. Now, I'm also seeing your question. And I see what will be the birth month of my future spouse and how we meet. Well, let's see about that. Interesting. Let's see what I can provide for you with that and see what Spirit provides. So let's see, I have a lot of sweetness here of energy coming through, number one, which is very nice to see. And all right, so the first thing that comes through, Nina, is you're going to meet this significant other, this husband of yours, at a mutual gathering. So it's going to be a group of people. I see something like a gathering. Maybe it's something like a party or so with friends, people that you know. So I do see something like that. So it should be a gathering, and that's when you'll meet. I do believe that a friend of yours somehow will be responsible in this gathering. So this is not going to be like a type of gathering exactly. It's going to be because of something of one of your friends. I feel it's a female friend. So there'll be a celebration, because of her, whether it's a birthday or an anniversary, for her, or some sort of celebration for a friend of yours. You will be there, and there will be others there. And it could be possibly in not necessarily a home, but like in a restaurant or some sort of a place of that nature or a club. But there will be a celebration somehow for a friend of yours. Again, it's a female that I feel. And from there, from that experience, you'll be meeting, someone there, a male, obviously, and perhaps you'll be connecting very strongly that way, I feel. So it's going to be through a gathering, is how you meet. In regards to a particular month that this person will be born under, I'm getting a strong feeling that it will be around the month of March or April will be like the birth month for this person. So expect to meet someone with a birth date of March. I feel kind of like the third week of March is when this person perhaps was born. So that would mean that he's either a Pisces or an Aries. And I'm leaning more towards Aries, for this. So this blends from March into April. So I get a feeling that around that time, either March or April, would be a birth month for this individual. And I feel that he may be an Aries in his zodiac sign, okay? I feel it's friends gathering, Nina, for sure, not family. It's a friends gathering. It'll be a celebration, or anniversary, or a birthday for a female friend of yours. And so it'll be that type of gathering. And then this gentleman or so would be a guest or someone who would be there. And that's how you would meet. You're very welcome. Sure, because we don't have too many people in the audience, so you're welcome to ask another question. I'm just scrolling out to make sure I don't miss somebody else. Okay, very good. hmm Very good. So, it's not going to happen when you want it to happen. It'll happen when it happens. And that's usually the best way for things to happen. When you're not focused so much on when they happen, it's when suddenly, when you least expect it, they appear. It's all about karma. It's all about energy. It's all about when spirit decides that it's best for you. It's not when you think that you should be like, making it so. No. You have another question. Okay. Yes, I had a feeling you came from a very strong, conservative and traditional background, obviously. Will your family accept this person? Well, I have a strong indication from something that I'm picking up on and hearing, actually, that it seems that yes, this would be someone that's respectable, that is appropriate, and that your family would approve of. Yes, they're traditional, but they're also not so, so far back, in their customs that they're not living in the 21st century, as well. They know things. They know that things are not the way that it was 50 years ago or so. So I feel that your family would be, let's say, understanding, of this and would find this person more appropriate for you. Of course they do. Very good. It's good to hear that as well. And you love them because you are very concerned about their well-being and that they also want them to be happy, as well, with the people, the person that you feel that you would be, having a relationship with. You're very welcome. So, let's see. I'm going to stay on for another, let's say, 5 minutes or so. and then we'll call it an evening or a morning here because it is very late, and it's the first time I've ever been doing this, and I need to get a little bit of sleep also, for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a very busy day. It's a holiday. It's a big holiday, and I want to be up and aware and enjoy it. So, very good. So let's see. So I'm glad that, there were some people on this evening here. And I'm very pleased that, that this was successful in doing this. And hope maybe sometime I'll do this again, in the future as well, in the middle of the night, at least here, in New York City in the United States, and provide, some impromptu readings, as I call it. Because, it was just something that just came out of nowhere for me. And I decided just to do it and see what happens. And so far, very good. I'm glad I was able to connect with some people, and Spirit was working very nicely and very lovely. And I hear the birds chirping, outside of my window. It's going to be like 4:30 in the morning, so they're up, and alert already. They're getting up to say good morning to the new day, and that's a lovely sign. So that tells me that I think it's time for me to start, signing off and, going to sleep. And I think that means that, I'll be doing that so I can get some rest, as well. But it was lovely, reading for all of you this evening and seeing some friends here, also, which was, nice to see as well, so late at night, or at least, I'm meeting some new friends here from the other side of the world. You're very welcome, Ray. Thank you so much. And I do invite all of you, actually, before I go, to connect with me on my Facebook public page, DeAngelis Colon, Transpsychic Express. So if you look into that page, you can connect and hopefully join, my page. And I provide a lot of interesting information. It's very educational. It's about metaphysical, it's about psychic, spiritual, it's about learning. So I do a lot of posting there on many different things, many different subjects: astrology, numerology, mediumship, paranormal, um, health, wellness. So I provide a lot of information there. I also do a weekly program called Metaphysical Communion, which is based from, my page, De Angelis Colon, Transpsychic Express. So you can see that. And I already did my first program for my third season just last night. So I'll be doing more programming in the next few weeks. You can catch me there as well. The program is recorded, so for those of you who are on the other side of the world who may not be awake during the time I actually broadcast, you'll be able to catch that, on recording, there, because I post that, immediately afterward. So you can see the recorded program as well as see it on Metaphysical Communion channel on YouTube, because I also post it there as well. And hopefully, I'll be doing perhaps another program like this in the middle of the night once again. And we can connect once again, and I can provide live readings for you, also this way too. But once again, um, you can connect with me on my Facebook page, De Angelis Colon, Transpsychic Express. Please join, become a member. You can ask questions there. Also, write me, messenger me there, and I'll respond to you. Also, I also do individual readings as well as group readings, too, for people, through Zoom or through Skype, because right now we're in the pandemic, so that's the way I've been working. Mainly, it's been through Zoom and through Skype. For those of you who are new, I have been doing readings, since professionally since the year 2002. I was born with psychic abilities and gifts and mediumship abilities also. And I've been, connecting with spirit, all my life basically. Um, but I started really working more professionally back into the year 2002, just for you to be aware of, okay? And so this is nothing new for me. And I've been doing a lot of events, lectures throughout the New York City, area, as well as throughout United States, also. And I've done a lot of paranormal investigations because I am a professional paranormal investigator since the year 2005. So I've been on well over 50 investigations in over 15 years of doing that type of work, also. So you can see that I have a lot of experience, in the field of metaphysics and the spiritual. So once again, I invite you to join my page. And at this point, I'm going to be saying good night to all of you. It was lovely meeting many of you this evening. Blessings to you. I hope to connect with you again, one-on-one in person. And this was so nice and successful. I think I'll be doing it again sometime in the near future. So expect to see me in the middle of the night, once again, providing impromptu readings, for you out there. And for those, my friends out there, thank you for joining me. And I'll see you again, on my program or on my page, wherever that may be, okay? So blessings to all of you. For those of you who are celebrating, happy 4th of July. For those of you out there in the Southern Hemisphere, in Australia, India, wherever you may be, in Hawaii, wherever you're seeing me from, lovely to connect with you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again, soon, okay? So you all take care. Good night to all of you as well. Thank you so much, and be well, everybody. Okay, good night. Mwah.